What's going on, YouTube? Thomas L here, with The Favor out now and the new film titled The Mercy opening Friday. Since both films stars the gorgeous and talented actress Rachel Weisz, I do a top 10 list of my 10 favorite Rachel Weisz movies. Because she's a really, good actress, and she's also married to James Bond himself, Daniel Craig. And she's been in the business for a while. I think she's really a tremendous actress. She's been in some pretty, interesting stuff. So that being said, here's my 10 favorite Rachel Weisz movies. All right. Coming in at number 10 is this 2007 film she was in called Definitely Maybe. Now, this film starred the likes of Ryan Reynolds, Isa Fisher, Abigail Breslin, and Elizabeth Banks. Now, in the movie, Ryan Reynolds plays a dad named Will Hayes, who's in his 30-something, who also has like a daughter played by Abigail Breslin, and Abigail Breslin's character asks him about his life before marriage, which includes how he met and fell in love with her mother. Then there's also flashbacks to 1992, and he recounts his romance with three women that changed that changed their names so that his daughter so that he mainly changes the characters' names so that way the daughter must guess which one became his wife. It's a really cute little charming film. The flashback scenes was pretty good. Ryan Reynolds was amazing. Of course, this was way before Deadpool. I mean, before Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds had some interesting, stuff. Rachel Weisz was pretty good in her part. Isa Fisher was good. Banks was amazing. This is a really cute and little charming, rom-com worth checking out. All right, coming in at number 9 is a recent one, and that's this film called Disobedience. Now, this film was released like this past April, and it featured Rachel McAdams and Rachel Weisz, who pretty much have like a love affair with one another. Disobedience, I thought was a really nice little film. I really liked the romance chemistry between both Weisz and McAdams. I mean, it was a little slow, but it was still decent. Alessandro Nivola was pretty good in this. And it was also directed by Sebastian Leo, who's a decent director. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out Disobedience yet, definitely give it a go, because it's a really nice little romance film worth checking out. Alright, coming in at number 8 is The Bourne Legacy. Now, this one was, I guess you could say, more of a spin-off of the Bourne trilogies, and it starred Jeremy Renner. Now, in this one, Jeremy Renner plays a character named Aaron Cross, who's one of Outcome's 6 agents, and it also has Rachel Weisz as a famed scientist named Marta Schering, who go on the run with each other. And Cross has to prove to be, and Cross pretty much proves to be a fair, deadlier target. And this, I mean, it's the villain is in this is actually played by Ed Norton, who was pretty good in his part. He plays the guy who's trying to target, trying to get after Aaron Cross. Now, I mean, the Bourne Legacy wasn't like the best out of the Bourne franchise. I mean, it's probably like the weakest out of the film franchise. But I still found that it should be a pretty decent, fun thriller. And of course, this was also directed by Tony Gilroy. He did a pretty good, decent job at directing. I kind of want to see Jeremy Renner back as Aaron Cross again. It's a shame that that we never got to see him return as the role of Aaron Cross, but maybe in the future we'll. And I also really dug the chemistry between both Renner and Weisz. Their chemistry was pretty on point. All right. Coming in at number 7 is Oz Great and Powerful. Now, in this, Rachel Weisz plays one of the witches in this. She actually plays the witch in. Remember in the Wizard of Oz, the witch who gets killed by the house. That's who Rachel Weisz plays in this. And you also have Mila Kunis, who's also a witch. Michelle Williams was the good witch in this. James Franco played the role of the Wizard of Oz. This is actually a prequel to the Wizard of Oz. It's a film that took place years before Oz became who he was. And it was also directed by Sam Raimi, who, of course, did the Evil Dead films. He even did the Spider-Man films. Oz Great and Powerful is really awesome. I really dug the special effects that was featured in this movie. Franco was pretty good. Weisz gave an amazing performance. I really dug the chemistry between both Weisz and Mila Kunis. I really thought those chemistry was on point because they play sisters in this. I mean, yeah, Oz Great and Powerful it's a really good one. And too bad Disney never went ahead and did a sequel to this because I thought Oz Great and Powerful was that good. All right. Coming in at number 6 is this film called The Brothers Bloom. Now, this movie was released in 2008 and was directed by Rian Johnson way before he did Star Wars The Last Jedi. The film also starred both Adrien Brody and Mark Ruffalo, who plays brothers in this, who ends up working on one final hustle, and they target a East Coast Harris, played by Weisz, and the con game fails to play out as planned on the Bloom brothers, who fall in love with Weisz's character. This movie I thought was pretty good. Yeah, I really dug the chemistry between both Adrien Brody and Mark Ruffalo. Rachel Weisz was pretty good in her part. Yeah, I thought Rian Johnson did a pretty good job at directing this too. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say this film is kind of underrated. I mean, it got released in 2008, and not many people really talk about it. It's actually a really good little film. Definitely check out The Brothers Bloom. Especially if you really have any doubt of how good of a director Rian Johnson is. Because before The Last Jedi, he's done other stuff like Looper, Brothers Bloom. He's actually a solid director. So take The Last Jedi out from a question and check out his other stuff because he's really solid. All right. Coming in at number 5 is the film The Lovely Bones. Now, this film was directed by Peter Jackson. The Lovely Bones is a really good film. It was like a breakout performance by Saoirse Ronan, who, of course, went on to appear in other stuff in the past. It also stars a really good performance by Stanley Tucci. Even had Mark Wahlberg in this. I mean, in The Lovely Bones, Saoirse Ronan plays a 14-year-old named Susie Salmon who watches from heaven over the grief-stricken family played by Wahlberg and Weisz, as well as her killer played by Stanley Tucci. And she must balance her thirst for revenge with a desire, for her family to heal. This movie is a fantastic film. It's actually Peter Jackson's most underrated film. I thought it was really good. Really like the chemistry between both Wahlberg and Weisz. Their chemistry was on point. Saoirse Ronan, was amazing in this. Yeah, Saoirse Ronan is a really good actress. Since The Lovely Bones, she's been in tons of stuff. Recently she was in Lady Bird. She's in that new Queen Mary of Scott movie coming out. She's a good actress. And Stanley Tucci. I mean, I think he got an Oscar nomination for this, and well deserved. Even people who didn't like this movie actually won't disagree that Stanley Tucci was amazing. That's like he was that good. All right, coming in at number 4 is the film My Blueberry Nights. Now, this one also starred singer Nora Jones. It My Blueberry Nights was a pretty nice little film. Besides Jones and Weisz, the film also featured people like Jude Law was in this, Natalie Portman. Sorry for that. Anyway, in My Blueberry Nights, Nora Jones plays a woman who boyfriend breaks up with her after 5 years, so she consoles herself by consuming creamy confections at a sympathetic cafe owner's eatery played by Jula, and she also sets out on like a road trip, supporting herself as a waitress along the way. And she meets a host of interesting characters, including alcohol policeman played by David Schifrin, his wife played by Rachel Weisz, and a gambler played by Natalie Portman. This movie was a really nice little charming film. I really thought Nora Jones was amazing in this movie. I don't really see her acting hardly anymore. I mean, she appeared in Ted, but like since Blueberry Night, she hasn't really had a major acting role. She was really good in this. Yeah, I recently did my 10 favorite movie performances by music artists. I should have added Nora Jones in my list. She was really good in this. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Blueberry Nights by now, definitely give it a go because it's a really nice little movie. All right, coming in at number 3 is Constantine. Now, this is based on the comic books. Of course, we got Constantine on Legends of Tomorrow, but this is the movie version with Keanu Reeves. Don Hansen was in this. Rachel Weisz was really good here. And Keanu Reeves as John Constantine worked out perfectly. I gotta say, this is also slightly underrated. I don't really hear many people talk about this Constantine film, but it's actually a really good film. If you guys haven't seen the Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves in it, check it out because it's really good. All right. Coming in at number 2 would be the 2005 film, The Constant Gardener. Now, this movie was released in 2005, and it starred Ralph Fiennes and Rachel Weisz. It's pretty much a political thriller film where Ralph Fiennes plays British diplomat Justin Quayle, who relocates to Kenya with his lovely young wife, played by Rachel Weisz, who's an activist for social justice. And, she is also found murdered out in the wilderness, and points to her friend, played by Herbert Kundan, but soon be clear that he's not the killer, and grief stricken and angers Justin, so he sets out on to uncover the truth behind Tessa's murder, and he unearths some disturbing revelations. It's really good. I mean, it's scripted by John Lee Kerr, and I believe Rachel Weisz, I think she scored an Oscar nomination for this, if I'm not mistaken. Gotta double check. Ralph Fiennes was pretty good in this. It was a really nice, little political thriller. I mean, I haven't seen this movie for a while, but I remember really dug in the first time I saw it. It Really dug the chemistry between both Fiennes and Weisz. Their chemistry was on point here. The political drill aspect of it all was pretty good. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Constant Gardener by now, it's another Weisz film worth checking out. All right. Coming in at number 1 will be The Mummy, which of course starred Brendan Fraser. Now, Weisz starred in both The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. She did not appear in that dreadful Tomb of the Emperor, by the way. Oh, thank God. Anyway, The Mummy is really good. I mean, it's a really fun adventure action film. Brendan Fraser was pretty good. Weisz was amazing. I mean, this movie was released in like late 90s, and I think it's a film that still holds up today. I mean, the Tom Cruise one, I thought that was pretty good, but the one with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz was much better. I mean, it had some pretty cool action sequences. This was actually the movie that made me have a crush on Rachel Weisz, by the way. I mean, who doesn't crush on her? But yeah, I mean, The Mummy with Fraser and Weisz was really good. And it was also directed by Stephen Sommers. He did a pretty good job of directing. The effects was cool. I mean, if you guys haven't seen The Mummy one by now, definitely check it out. Alright, that's pretty much it for my 10 favorite Rachel Weisz movies. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Definitely Maybe. 9, Disobedience. 8, The Bourne Legacy. 7, Oz Great and Powerful. 6, The Brothers Bloom. 5, The Lovely Bones. 4, My Blueberry Nights. 3, Constantine. 2, The Constant Gardener. 1, The Mummy. Now, she's been in loads of other stuff. Let me pull up her film resume. Oh, definitely not The Lobster. That, I mean, she has a new movie. Like the film that she's in, The Favorite, is from the same director as Lobster, but The Lobster was not that good. Definitely not like Between Oceans. Dream House, the one that she did with her husband Daniel Craig, that was pretty decent. She was also in that movie Stealing Beauty. Sadly, the director Stealing Beauty, named Bernardo Bertolucci, sadly he just passed away today. So R.I.P. Bernardo. Oh yeah, she was also in About Boy, Runaway Jury, Chain Reaction. She was in Aragon, The Shape of Things. Boy, Rachel Weisz has been in loads of stuff. Let me leave it to you guys. What are your favorite Rachel Weisz movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.